Good morning, everybody. It is the 27th, the day before Thanksgiving, and I have given myself the task of inviting a bunch of my friends for a Friendsgiving. I've never ever organized the Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving before. Okay, I did once, but that was a long time ago. I don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. I am not American, neither are my friends, but I thought it would be just a fun occasion, a good excuse to gather a bunch of friends together and be grateful for whatever we're grateful for or should be grateful for. But I have a whole list of things to do today for my dinner tomorrow. So I'm gonna quickly get changed because I'm in my pajamas still. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna take you guys along with me and get over my fear of filming in public, hopefully. So I'm also, what else is on my list? I think I need to do a bunch of meal prep. I need to clean my apartment. I don't know how I'm gonna do it today, but I'm gonna take you guys along on this crazy ride. So yes, I will see you guys when I'm changed and I've put some makeup on my face, and I'll be back. Mwah. This is the makeup and the slick back. I don't know what I did with the slick back. It has a few strands of hair here and there, but that's fine. I don't know why I did a whole makeup look just for a grocery store, but we can feel cute while doing grocery shopping. I also made my bed. It's not perfect, but if you saw the state of it with the spilled egg yolk this morning, I did consider changing my bed sheets, but it hasn't been that long. It has been like a week since I changed them. But I let them do their thing for 3 weeks. I change my bed sheets every 3 weeks. But I did remove the egg yolk stain with dishwash detergent, and it works really well, and there's no stain left. Yay. Here is my Miffy notepad that I did all of my prep in. Here's a bunch of recipes. So planning and to do Friendsgiving. It is in Dutch. Here's my menu. If you can read Dutch, you would understand. But here's my grocery list. I'm going to add bread just for me for breakfast, and what else? Oh, candles. I don't know if I put candles. No, I didn't. And some scented candles for my guests. And then I'm going to take this notebook with me for the grocery store. I'm wearing my trustworthy Uggs. And here is my shopping cart that I bring with me everywhere I go. Or at least when I do grocery shopping. It's very sturdy and I love it. It's perfect for when you live in big cities and use public transport for grocery shopping. Okay guys, so I've been trying to film. Ooh, pardon. Sorry, I got shy for a second because I was in the way of an employee. But yeah, filming at the grocery store is definitely a challenge. I've been trying to film experts here and there, but I'm always in the way of someone, or I drop stuff because I'm a horrible multitasker, and I also need to, keep track of my grocery list. So I think I'll just film some excerpts, how do you say that? Some footage here and there to show you guys the ambience, but I'll do a little haul of everything I got when I start meal prepping. It wouldn't be a Belgian Thanksgiving without Brussels sprouts. Okay, I'm back from the grocery store. Everything went okay grocery-wise. I think there was barely anyone at the store. They had everything that I was looking for. They were nice when I asked for help. That was all fine. It was just the filming in the grocery store. I should have brought like my tripod, but I honestly couldn't be bothered walking around with the tripod and then the mic, and I'm still kind of looking for my way in the filming in public community. I'm not sure if I belong to that community per se, but I'm trying. I did film a few little clips here and there, but it was a hassle. I also had my grocery list, which I managed to get everything. Oops, that is my lunch. But I managed to get everything. But you know, like scribbling, scratching, looking for stuff, talking to the camera, filming, it was too much for me. It was too much for me. Maybe a GoPro would help. We'll see. But I got everything. I'm gonna get all of my groceries out, show you guys what I got, put it in the fridge. Then I'm gonna eat my lunch and then we'll get started. I don't know if I want to clean first or meal prep first. I definitely think I'm gonna clean first, since I have neighbors and I want to kind of be mindful and clean before they get home, so you don't hear the vacuum scratching the floor, aka their ceiling. So yeah. Okay everyone, it is time to start our meal prepping, or just to start preparing our food. So the first thing I'm gonna prepare is my pecan pie. I did make this once before, so I'm just gonna follow the steps. I have the recipe printed out, so I'm gonna grab that real quick, and I'm using store-bought pie dough, because who has no, okay, listen, I do have the time and the energy to make my own pie dough. It's more that like I don't have the necessary kitchen equipment, I feel like. I live in a small apartment, guys, so not small. I guess for some people it would be considered big. If like you're from New York or from Paris or Tokyo or something, or London. But for like a Belgian kitchen, this is considered small. Like my idea is I'm just gonna fold the edge, make it cute, and then like create that little pattern thing that you always see on these pies. To be honest, do we even care about the pie crust? Don't we all just care about the filling? Oh my gosh. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue. It's also not going to be uniform at all. I don't know. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I think I'm creating a pie crust. Oops. Oh, this one. Okay, y'all. I think this is working. Okay, I don't know. Definitely it's not perfect, but it's fine. It has a right to exist, I guess. I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. Okay guys, this is the result. I'm going to freeze this for at least an hour, an hour, 30 minutes. Okay, so hi. The pie dough has been resting for a good 45 minutes, an hour, so I think this is the perfect time to start the rest of the pie. No, not the pumpkin pie. I keep saying pumpkin pie. Let me put some more light here. Yes, so I'm gonna grab my recipe. I like printing recipes just because I'm an old soul. And it's the, what's her name again? Melissa Clark. It's Melissa Clark's recipe. I saw it on YouTube and it's amazing. So the first steps are on a lightly floured surface, roll into blah blah blah. I did that. Transfer the crust to the freezer for at least 30 minutes. When ready to bake, place a rimmed baking sheet on the middle oven rack and heat oven to 220 degrees Celsius, 425 Fahrenheit. Okay. The oven. Okay. Then it says heat a small saucepan and melt the butter over medium heat. Yes. Okay. The butter. How much was that? Half a cup. Okay. Let me just grab all of my baking utensils, my cups, my pecans. There we go. I have some left from last time. I did a test bake for this pie. Butter, brown sugar. I have two kinds of brown sugar. Oops. I have two kinds of brown sugar for this recipe because we don't have the brown sugar that she uses. Butter. What else do we need? Honey. What else? Salt, 3 large eggs. Bourbon I don't have. Vanilla extract I have. Flaky sea salt. Okay. Vanilla extract. And 3 large eggs. Let me show you guys. This is my butter that is browning. So we need brown butter. I don't know if I explained this. We don't just need a regular butter, but it needs to be a little golden caramel color. So Melissa Clark says in her recipe that once you see the little milk solids kind of being brown, that's when the butter has browned. So I will show you guys what it looks like in a few minutes. So when the butter is nicely browned, I have to add half a cup of maple syrup. This is the maple syrup I'm using, but guess how much this costs in general in Europe. Like, I want you to take a moment and guess. So our butter is starting to brown nicely. Like, it's difficult to see the milk solids because there's still quite a bit of foam, as you can see them floating. So okay guys, so I already combined vanilla extract and salt into the separate bowl, and we also need to add, I think, 3 eggs. Yes, while the mixture cools, I mean, it's not ready yet, but let's start. Combine sugars, eggs, vanilla, and salt, and also bourbon, but I'm not going to use bourbon for this recipe. So I'm already going to put 3 large eggs into it. So our butter is definitely brown. As you can see, the milk particles are nice and brown. So now I'm gonna add the maple syrup. Here he is. Okay, and now this has to heat for another 2 to 3 minutes. But we need to add half a cup of honey now. Let me show you guys. Last time it was like they wouldn't incorporate,
or what's the name? Yeah, the honey wasn't incorporating that well. Wow, guys, look at how beautiful that looks. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool for 10 minutes while I prepare our little egg custard. Okay, so Melissa's recipe states that we need half a cup of light brown sugar and half a cup of maple sugar. So in Belgium, we don't have maple sugar. We also don't have light brown sugar. We have like this super dark brown sugar, which is so, I don't know if you can see inside the bag, but it's almost black. And then we have this very light brown sugar, and this has a very specific flavor. This is, oh my god, this is such a nostalgic packaging. Any Belgian out there will recognize this child. But I think I'm gonna mix them both. So 1 cup of each. Oh no, half a cup of each, my bad. Okay, so this is my half cup of light brown sugar. And that is getting whacked in. I'm putting all my love in this pecan pie. This is our result. As you can see, it's an amazing consistency, or a bit of a strange, slimy consistency. It's all about perception. Gradually pour syrup mixture into eggs mixture. Okay, so we have to temper the eggs, right? So if that's even a word, because it's a bit hot. We don't want the eggs to cook, basically. There we go. I think that combined beautifully, guys. I don't see any eggs. I don't see the egg like curdling or cooking. So it's time to get our pie crust from the freezer. This is our beautiful and weird looking pie crust. So Melissa says carefully place the pecans in the pie crust. I'm not a big fan of carefully placing things. I'm a bit of an impatient cook, if you will. So I bought an extra baggie of pecans. Like, the last thing I want is for there to not be enough pecans. And then we just pour our mixture. Whoa! This is insanity. So this is my uncooked pecan pie. This has to go into a 220 degrees Celsius oven for 10 minutes, and then you lower the temperature to 175 degrees Celsius and you cook it for another 45 minutes. Last time I did 35. I don't know why, and it worked out fine. So let's see. Okay guys, so we have officially entered the voiceover part of the video. So this is still the night before Thanksgiving. I was super tired because I'd been working as well, working from home that day and starting my meal prep, and I didn't feel like talking, so I just put on some music. And here I put on the Belgian version of Married at First Sight. It is super juicy, and there was a bit of drama in this episode if I recall. And I'm also just doing some dishes, making sure that my home is ready for my guests. So that's what I was doing. Okay, and here we're entering the next day after I came back from work, so about 5:30 p.m. and we're starting our Brussels sprouts prep. To be honest, this was kind of like a part that I wanted to do the day before, but it was too late, it was dark, I had to clean and I didn't feel like doing it. So just cutting up those cute Brussels. Okay, and this is where I'm seasoning my Brussels sprouts. So I put a big chunk of, or what do you call that? A gullop? Like a lot of olive oil and just salt and pepper because I was planning to make a glaze for the Brussels sprouts. So as you can see, I love my pepper. Love some peppery Brussels sprouts. And make sure they're seasoned nicely so that they are flavorful. I didn't want to put a bunch of spices and herbs because I'm doing that for the pumpkin. So you guys will see that later. And then we just mix it all up with our washed hands. Yes, I washed my hands. Putting those babies on a baking sheet, and I try to spread them out nicely because I like the edges and the little leafy parts to be crispy and scrumptious. And then I'm cutting a bunch of fresh herbs. I'm doing parsley, which, looking back at the footage, this cutting technique is not the best. My mom taught me how to cut parsley like this, but I think she did it in a taller glass. So this is looking a bit clumsy, and as you can see, there's a bunch of parsley on the side. Okay, then we're doing thyme. It took me about 10 minutes to gather that much thyme from little stems. But yeah, we're chopping that up nice and fine. Okay, so here I'm prepping my, the little bites that you serve at the beginning. In Dutch or French we call it apéro, in Flemish, not regular Dutch. But yes, the way that I'm cutting this sausage is giving me anxiety looking back. But of course I'm snacking on a nice little piece here and there, as one should. And it's approved. Yay! So I guess here I wanted to show off my pumpkin and make a thumbnail. But here we're cutting the pumpkin. It is a chore. It's not as hard and as tough as a butternut, but it definitely was a challenge. But I think I managed quite well, given my blunt knife. And then we're taking the seeds out. That's always my favorite part. It's so satisfying. Dumping those little seeds in the bowl. And here I was kind of contemplating how to cut the pumpkin, so I just cut it into these little strips, if you will, and then you will see that I end up taking the skin off after all the strips are cut, because the skin is super tough. And so here I'm just using a sharp knife to cut the skin off. After about 30 minutes, our outer Brussels sprout leaves are nice and crispy, but they're very brown and I don't want them to burn. So I'm taking them out and then letting them roast for 10 minutes longer. Okay, so we're seasoning our lovely pumpkin. Again, olive oil. I'm putting some thyme, fresh thyme, pepper. And again, this is a time lapse, so I obviously love pepper and it's never ending. I put some MSG, controversial, some salt, and what else am I gonna put in there? Oh, garlic powder. Yum. Oh my god, I'm getting hungry just looking at the footage. Okay, and then here my Brussels sprouts were done roasting and letting them cool. Transferring my pumpkins to the same baking sheet. Just reuse the baking sheet. Don't even bother changing it because all those lovely flavors are still on there. And then we're placing them in the oven where they belong.
Dit wordt de catering voor mijn avond, want ik kan er jammer genoeg niet bij zijn.
So, I'm getting along quite well with my meal prep. You could hardly call it a meal prep because yesterday I went to bed after I made the pecan pie. So that left me to do everything after work today. So we've made our Brussels sprouts roasted, which I do have like this honey butter glaze. I added a tiny bit of balsamic to that. So I'll reheat them when the guests are there and put the glaze over it after. Then I have the roasted pumpkin, which it's much softer than I thought it would be and not as brown, but the flavor is definitely there. And that leaves us with one thing. It's cooking this huge chicken. I've decided to call her Bella. Bella is raw and she's huge, and I've never made that kind of roasted whole chicken before, but we're gonna get through this together. And also Gordon Ramsay is helping me because I made his kind of like butter, like the butter spread that you push under the breast skin. It has butter and a bunch of fresh herbs in it. It's from his it's from his chicken stuffed with chickpeas recipe, but I'm not gonna stuff it with chickpeas. So yeah, wish me luck. Mwah. Gordon Ramsay says to use like garlic, how do you call that? Bush? I'm not sure. A garlic head, a head of garlic, and slice it down the middle and use it as like a little bed for the chicken. Oh, Bella, sweetie. Oh, so she's already like tied up. Okay, so first Gordon says to season the inside of this chicken. Okay, so I tied Bella up and she will be placed nice and safely on this bed of garlic. No. Okay guys, Bella is in the fridge chilling and she'll be popped into oven, I think, when the first guest arrives. By then I need to get my whole apartment ready, set the table, put on some music, get ready, and I guess I'll see you guys when that's done. Oké, dus dit is het Thanksgiving bordje.
We hebben hier dus gratin dauphinois. We hebben hier geroosterde pompoentjes uit de oven. Heerlijke choux de Bruxelles. Ja, maar zeker. Een sappig kippetje met een roomsausje met peper. En dan, ja, kaas op de taart is toch wel de cranberry thing.
Thank you, Sarah.
Het gaat smaken, dankjewel.
Ik heb een prachtige vegetarische variant van het mooie bordje van Sarah. Met vegetarische balletjes met een overheerlijke saus.
Oh.